Yesterday, we began a four-part series by taking you on a bus tour of the Marcellus Shale formation in western Maryland. That's where the House Environmental Matters Committee began studying a process known as hydraulic fracturing or fracking. In part two of our exclusive series, we hear from proponents of the new natural gas extraction process.
Looking for better ways to do things as an industry. I find it in Pennsylvania has really sharpened their pencil and moved forward in that. West Virginia is sharpening theirs as we speak, and they're kind of moving along too at a different pace, but they're going to get there too.
Jimmy Ray works for Enerplus, a company that has begun drilling for natural gas in West Virginia. The company uses the fracking process by first digging deep vertically and then using a series of high-pressured blasts of water to break through the shale horizontally. Natural gas drilling has been around for decades, but extracting it from shale was too expensive a proposition to make a profit. That all changed a few years ago with the introduction of fracking.
We just finished a coring operation at 8,200 feet, and now we're drilling a pilot hole to do some electrical log analysis.
And from there you're going to drill horizontally?
Yes, at that we will determine our kickoff point, which we'll start building lateral variation and coordinate that through directional drilling type individuals, and then proceed out around 4,000 to 5,000 feet and then traverse through the Marcellus Shale accordingly.
Enerplus is hoping to convince Maryland legislators to allow the same drilling process in the old line state. The company has already bought leasing rights to thousands of acres in western Maryland and is just waiting for approval to begin the process.
Once we get that in place, then it'll be mostly all West Virginian here. When we go to Maryland, if you guys are amenable to have us over, then we will bring the Maryland crews in.
Proponents say drilling through the Marcellus Shale formation in search of natural gas could be a huge boost to the local economy in western Maryland, one of the poorest in the state.
These companies lease their land and lease the gas, so they get money for the lease of the land, and then they get paid a royalty once you start taking the gas out. So you're going to see actually billions, with a B, dollars coming in here. Most of the people that are the drillers and the frackers, which I call one and the same, come from out of the area because they have to be experts in what they do. Most of the other people, they hire locally. You need local companies to put in the pads, put in the stormwater ponds. You're going to need local companies to put in the pipe, and you're going to need local companies to maintain all this stuff.
Delegate Anthony O'Donnell thinks the discovery of natural gas could actually transform the state's coffers as well. He says it could allow a liquefied natural gas plant in southern Maryland to change from being an importer of natural gas to an exporter.
The potential exists because of the large reserves of natural gas being developed and discovered in the United States in the Marcellus Shale deposit and in the Utica deposit, which is another deposit, that we'll have such an abundance of gas that that facility could possibly someday be turned into an export facility. Where gas would be brought there and loaded onto ships to go overseas.
O'Donnell says that could ultimately reduce the nation's dependency on foreign energy sources that are hostile to the U.S., reduce the trade balance, and create jobs.
Well, not everyone is sold on natural gas drilling. In part three of our series, we'll tell you about concerns some western Marylanders have regarding the issue. We'll also discuss the potential risks of fracking in the Marcellus Shale formation.